First-person view drones, or FPV drones, are an obscure way of flying a drone that not many are aware of. You may be familiar with flying one of DJI drones. DJI drones are made to be user-friendly so that anyone can pick them up and enjoy them. FPV drones, on the other hand, are not user-friendly and are much more challenging to control. However, the payoff if you do learn to control them is worth it, especially if you love getting high-octane action videos during flight. This is a beginner's guide to FPV from the point of view of a beginner. There's a lot to learn about FPV, from the drones to the goggles, to the flight protocols, the drone size, the radio controllers, the batteries, analog or digital systems, the compatibility issues. Stop. Don't make the same mistake I did by trying to learn everything at once. Let's just relax and focus first on the radio controller. The first thing you want to do before getting into any of the nitty-gritty of FPV is to get yourself a radio controller. There's a lot of different brands out there, but I personally recommend Radiomaster and their Radiomaster Pocket. I only recommend this if you're serious about investing into FPV, and I mean investing. If you want a controller that will last without giving up a significant amount of money, the Radiomaster Pocket is the way to go. The Radiomaster Pocket is $64.99, which is a lot of money, but trust me when I say it's not as costly as other controllers while still being able to perform well. When purchasing a radio controller, you may notice it says version and region. You should pick ELRS as the version and FCC as the region. ELRS, more commonly known as Express LRS, is an open source operating system for modern FPV drone systems. And the FCC is just the Federal Communications Commission in the United States. So if you live in the United States, you're going to choose FCC anyways. Keep in mind that when you buy your first drone and FPV goggles, you want to make sure that both are analog, otherwise they will not be compatible with your controller. Now that you've bought your first radio controller, congrats you, your next focus should be a simulator. You can find a lot of videos on the pros and cons of each simulator, but what I use is Liftoff. You can purchase Liftoff on Steam for $20. The radio controller you just bought can plug into your computer or laptop, and that will be the controller you use for the simulator. Make sure you take a look into Liftoff's Steam workshop to view what the community has created, from drone designs to custom maps. To set up your radio controller, first attach the gimbal sticks by screwing them into the gimbals. Assuming you've already installed the batteries in the controller, power on the controller by pressing and holding the power button. If the throttle is not pushed all the way down or your switches are not pressed away from you, the controller will warn you to do so before proceeding. Plug in the USB-C cable into the top of the controller where it is marked USB with the provided cable, then plug in the USB-A cable into your computer or laptop. A pop-up will ask you to select mode. We want to select the USB joystick HID option by clicking in the scroll wheel that is located underneath the right joystick. Now you're all set to fly! If the controller does not automatically respond in the simulator, you will need to calibrate the controller in the simulator settings menu. Now that you have everything set up, practice. I know you're looking at me weirdly, but I'm serious. Practice a whole hell of a lot. I've been keeping this quiet, but the thing about FPV is that you will fail a lot. You will crash multiple times into the wall, the floor, and into objects because you have full control of what the drone does. You have to control the turning, how high the drone flies, and make sure it doesn't crash into anything. So what's the upside? The upside is you get shots like these. About 10 hours of practice, 1 to 2 hours each day, dedicated to flying in the simulator. Keep practicing until you comfortably have full control of the drone. It might still crash, but as long as you can reliably keep yourself from crashing, you're good. There's a lot of information I am brushing over to ensure this video is not over an hour long. I could talk at length about the different opportunities the FPV world has to offer, and I have before, but as a beginner's guide, get an ELRS radio controller, get a simulator, and practice. No need to worry about what drone or goggles you should buy or if you should use analog or one of the 3 different digital systems. Controller, simulator, practice. First-person view drones or FPV drones are an obscure way of Now they have DJI drones are made to be user-friendly so that anyone can pick them up and enjoy them. FPV